I want to give Nate Parker his flowers, man, because Hollywood did him dirty. And a lot of people who's probably younger or older, they probably didn't see a lot of Nate Parker movies, but he was on his way up. He was the next Chadwick Boseman. He was the next Idris Elba, in my opinion, to take a Denzel Washington slot or Will Smith slot. But Hollywood did him dirty. And we see what happens with Hollywood, right? We knew that Kevin Hart, for example, was offered the opportunity to host the Oscars. He said something against the LGBTQ community 2010 on Twitter, which he came out and apologized, which he should have done, right? Because, you know, people feel offended by it. He apologized already. So somebody from the Oscar team said, if you don't apologize, once again, you can't host the Oscars. But we all know the subtext because it's chess, not checkers. If you watch the Oscars for the past couple of years, especially during the Trump administration, they all talk about politics. Kevin Hart is a smart comedian. He stays away from politics, right? Think about that for a second. So he didn't want to talk about politics, in my opinion, because I'll mess up his brand. That's why, like, he's likable, he's safe, because he doesn't take one side or the other. He's not Democratic, he's not Republican. They might make some comments here and there, but he's not like a Robert De Niro, you know, hosting going on the Oscar stage and saying, I hate Trump. He's not doing that because he doesn't want to offend both sides. He loves all his fans, and he's smart for doing that. But he had to take a side that day. In my opinion, that's why he didn't take the offer. It was not because he couldn't apologize, because he wound up apologizing anyway. So it wasn't about that. Now, back to Nate Parker. Hollywood did Nate Parker dirty. They did him dirty. Nate Parker, phenomenal actor, okay? He took off. There's articles about it. I believe he talks about it. He took off from acting 2 to 3 years to work on Birth of a Nation. So that means he basically pissed away a lot of money. Or I should say, there was a lot of money left on the table, and he didn't get it because he was working on Birth of a Nation. Now, Birth of a Nation, I believe it won Sundance, Best Feature Film or the Grand Jury Prize winner, something like that. And obviously, he got a distribution deal, right? So he had some investors to put some money in. So they invested about $8.5 million, and they wound up making only 16.8. So they got their investment back and a little bit more, all right? But it wasn't astronomical. So, of course, all the media blogs, that's how they work. You saw what they doing to Kanye now. All the media blogs are saying, oh, you know, at the time when Birth of a Nation came out, oh, the movie was trash, it was horrible. Of course, they're going to do that. So as the movie is coming out, after it won Sundance, some dirty media blogger, agent, feminist group, somebody brought up the situation that he and his buddy raped this female in college. This is years ago. He's not in college anymore. And I think they got off the hook. But unfortunately, the young lady wound up committing suicide. And that's horrible. It's really horrible. My prayers goes out to her family. But that's horrible. But they brought something up that was already solved, right? It was figured out. I think there was no charges brought against them. But it was during the Me Too movement, shame on men, that they brought this up. So guess what happens? Birth of a Nation, the remake, because everybody knows the old one from like the 1920s or whatever. Birth of a Nation, the remake, the Nate Parker version, they cancel it. They take it out the box offices. So he can't make any money from it, which was messed up. He took 2-3 years to make the movie, took off from acting, so now he's in a situation where he's pretty much blackballed from Hollywood. And the reason why I say this is because I hate how they did Nate Parker. They're doing it to Kyrie Irving. They're doing it to Kanye. And all the other black people, but shouts out to Spike Lee for standing with Nate Parker, because Spike Lee is the independent filmmaker. He has a cult following. Woody Allen has a cult following. He does not need Hollywood. Tyler Perry, cult following. They do not need Hollywood. Hollywood needs them. And the reason why I say this, because all my black musicians, actors, Hispanic actors, minority actors, which they always, the media always talk about black and white, but they don't talk about how the Asians are getting overlooked. The Indians are getting overlooked in acting and filmmaking. They don't talk about that, right? It's always black, white, black, white. Shout out to all my Asian actors out there, musicians out there that's grinding, man. And the reason why I say this, and I'm venting right now, is because as an actor, I don't care if you're on a top TV show, movie, got a hit song. If these people decide to cancel you, they will put out press releases on all media platforms to have the audience, your fans, potential fans, to believe that you are this disgusting human being, creature, without any evidence or facts to back it up. They might have one or two people that may make a comment about you. They knew you from the past. And just because somebody knew you from the past doesn't mean that they were there when a situation went down. But that's what they would do. So I encourage you, artists, you got to be financially independent. You got to think like a business. As you start to make money, all these checks you getting from Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, Disney, Tyler Perry Productions, start putting your money into real estate. Start building businesses. Because the day these people decide to cancel you, because they love you now, but when they decide to cancel you, it's going to take it's a long road to get back. They try to cancel 50 Cent a couple times. 50 got a cult following. You already see what they're doing to the baby off those comments, but he has a cult following. He got it from the mud, so it's the different hustle, right? Be independent. As soon as you start making money, stop trying to show off with people that don't even know you or don't even like you. Stack that bread, invest that money. Because the day these people try to cancel you, you got to rely on yourself to push your art form out there. Believe that. That's what I realized. Because that's just how it is. Black people fall for it. Americans fall for it all the time. We believe the media. Everything they say we believe. So that's my tidbit for today. And I also want to give Nate Parker his flowers. And shout out to Spike Lee for holding Nate Parker down and not turning his back on Nate Parker, because he's a good brother, man. He does a lot for the community. So everybody watch Nate Parker's films, Birth of a Nation, Beyond the Lights, all the debate team that he was a part of with Denzel and Oprah. I believe they produced that movie. With Jussie Smollett's sister, she's in it. I forgot her first name. But Jussie Smollett's sister's in that movie. Start supporting Nate Parker, man. He was already supposed to be with Chadwick Boseman and all these other, Michael B. Jordan. That was him. But Hollywood, black people don't realize that Hollywood can make or break you. So Michael B. Jordan was the next up. That was supposed to be Nate Parker's spot. Nate Parker should have been in. And no, shout out to Michael B. Jordan too. That's another black brother that's talented and deserves his flowers as well. He didn't, do that. That's what happened. Unfortunately, when Nate Parker's passed, and it kind of came to haunt him. But Nate Parker should have been in Michael B. Jordan's spot, in my opinion. Chadwick Boseman's spot, in my opinion. But that's just how it is. So, anyway, love you guys. I'm headed to work right now and do my thing. And peace out.